Hello and welcome to Cut to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about the Jewish Avengers. It takes place after World War II. It's an interesting story.
So it's not Captain America.
It's not Captain Israel. No. It's not a team of superheroes.
Oh. So there's no, like, Hulk. I'm trying to think. Hulkstein. Hulkstein.
No, none of that. No.
Oh. And no, like a Jewish hot version of Black Widow.
Why the fuck not?
Okay, that's all right then.
Yes. No, I know that I've been promising the Montauk project for a few weeks, right? But that's that story. It goes off in so many fucking different directions. I'm trying to actually pin down a common core.
Yeah.
If I had a conspiracy room with red string everywhere and pictures on the wall, it'd be full. So I haven't got one at all, I promise.
I think you're lying.
First up, thanks to new and returning listeners, and then we'll crack on with the story. So, Franco de Rocha in Brazil. Oh, fair play.
Welcome.
Harrow in the UK, Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, Frankfurt am Main in Germany, General Fernandez Oro in Argentina.
It's a new one.
Yeah, so we've had a couple of Argentinian listeners in the past, and then I usually mention the Falklands and it all goes downhill.
Don't mention the Falklands then.
Yeah, shouldn't do that.
40 years ago, get over it.
Well, I'm going to have to worry about the World Cup win.
Yeah, we don't diss the Germans anymore, come on.
No, Frankfurt am Main's on the list. I did mock their footballing efforts last time, but no one's mentioned the W word until tonight. It's been a topic of this subject.
You almost got away with it.
Damn. Muznia in Poland, Freehold, New Jersey, Perryville, Missouri, I'm moving the top 10 of selection, Madrid, Spain, Zeist in the Netherlands, San Diego, California, Guadalajara, Spain, and Belfast again.
Belfast come back with a
Ashburn,
vengeance.
Virginia in there too, always there.
Ashburn.
Thank you to everybody.
But you're getting beat by Belfast now, Ashburn, Virginia.
He hasn't got time to listen to 60 podcasts in a week.
Yeah, and he's listened to most of them. He's been with us or she has been with us for quite some time.
They have.
Mm-hmm. They must have no life. They just like listening to us.
Just like us.
Yeah.
Kindred spirits.
So, let's start. The failed plot to kill 6 million Germans in the wake of World War II. Nice cheery episode tonight.
Something I've never heard about, so it's a new one to me.
I have heard of it in the past, yeah.
So, British philosopher Francis Bacon defined vengeance as a kind of wild justice. The more man's nature runs to vengeance, he wrote, the more ought law to weed it out. But some types of vengeance were more acceptable than others, and Bacon clarified that the most terrible sort of revenge is for those wrongs where there is no law to remedy. And let's face it, World War II would have blown his fucking mind, wouldn't it, if he'd have said that?
But there were laws to remedy.
There are laws.
There was the Nuremberg trials.
Yes.
And a lot of probably Nazis were found guilty and hanged.
A lot of people got away though, didn't they? A lot of people got away.
Yeah, and they were hunted. To be fair, they were hunted down throughout history.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Benedict.
No, he wasn't. He was too young for that. Do you know that Adolf Hitler wasn't tried in absentia at Nuremberg? Did you find that interesting?
Who?
Hitler.
Yeah.
Hitler wasn't tried at Nuremberg, even in absentia.
Why?
Don't know.
Because he was still alive in Argentina.
Because he's still alive and living in Argentina.
No, in absentia means that, like, you know, they were trying all the ones that killed themselves and died post death. But apart from Hitler.
Because they just thought there's no point.
Because they knew he was alive in Argentina.
I've been listening to some very compelling.
It's just a theory.
Some compelling arguments these last few days for this.
Yeah, it wasn't his body that they
So
found.
he didn't kill himself. He was still alive in Argentina. He fucked off to Argentina.
Yeah, in fact, that skull they've got in the Kremlin isn't Hitler's. It's out of a 40-year-old woman's. That's been DNA tested.
Has it?
Yes, it has. The so-called Hitler skull.
Couldn't they got mixed up with Eva Braun?
No, she was nowhere near 40.
Wasn't she?
No.
What's he do? Just turn up in Argentina, shave that tash off, mess his hair up, and be like, "All right, ladies."
Goes to live with
Hey, I'm Gonzales.
goes to live with German-speaking families in Argentina who are sympathetic to the Nazi cause. Because the Germans have got a bit of a presence in Argentina. They've got communities there and people who are descended, Argentinians of German descent, took him in. It was an honour to have him there.
It took a lot of Italians as well.
Yeah. A lot of war criminals get out. I've got stuff planned for this. I'm going to blow all your fucking minds.
Never.
But still.
So you'd never heard that theory that Hitler was alive still in Argentina? Wow.
No. So, after the war concluded, some individuals harmed by Germans took matters into their own hands, and one vengeful Polish militiaman who was barely out of his teens oversaw the murder of thousands of Germans, of prisoners of war, including as many as 800 children. As historian Dina Polat writes, there were Greek, Ukrainian, Slovak, French, Italian, Hungarian and other citizens who, after being freed from the camps, refused to return home until they had enacted their revenge. Because let's face it, you'd want a bit, wouldn't you?
You'd want justice, yeah.
You'd certainly want to. If you were one of the people in the camps, you'd want them to string up the Nazis that were responsible, and you'd want to be allowed to beat them.
True.
You would. You'd be like, well, they did it to us, so let's do it back to them, dirty little bastards.
Some people may have wanted to die. I don't think everybody would have.
I would have. I'd have wanted to get put in a room with a couple of them and just
I think that they were
let loose.
I think they were hanged. The fact that they were hanged.
Yeah.
Isn't that justice enough?
Maybe too swift.
Mm.
And he'd need to be beaten for a few days and just suffer a lot. Suffer. That's what they needed. They needed to suffer a bit.
You know.
I know. But
There's enough suffering.
What I'm saying is,
if you take pleasure out of it,
yeah. I imagine
if you were put in that circumstance and starved and beaten and watched half your family die, your friends, if you were put in that situation, you would want some fucking blood.
Yeah,
you would.
On the guards, absolutely.
Yeah,
we're not talking about guards here.
No,
we're talking about
German citizens.
German citizens and German POWs. Well, the citizens were tried first. And there's a recent book just come out called Nakam, the Holocaust survivors who sought full-scale revenge. And relatively little has been written about the organised attempts of Jews to avenge the Holocaust. Nakam, whose title is the Hebrew word for vengeance, tells the story of a group of survivors and partisan fighters who remained in Europe after the war's end, and they formed a clandestine group they called the Nakam, the Avengers, and in response to the genocide of Europe's Jews, attempted to kill 6 million German citizens, men, women and children, by poisoning the water supplies of major German cities and by delivering arsenic-laced bread to German prisoners of war.
Fucking hell. Yeah, well, when you're talking like that, it's over the top, because there's no need to be killing the women and children.
No, there isn't.
None whatsoever.
But you're looking at what you've seen and what you've witnessed and what's happened to your family and thinking, well, fuck it, aren't you, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's because you've allowed yourself to become consumed by your
anger and hate.
And vengeance. And what do those lead to?
Lead to suffering.
Yeah.
And what else do they lead to?
The dark side.
There you go. Now, the story runs contrary to the still too prevalent notion that the Holocaust victims went passively to their deaths. The Avengers consisted of 50 Jews who had fought as partisans against the Nazi occupiers, who, after Germany lost the war, committed themselves to wreaking vengeance for the murders of their family and friends and the destruction of their civilization.
It is understandable. But ways and means, isn't there?
Yeah.
Get revenge on, like you say, the soldiers. Yeah, okay. But not the women and the children.
I'm with Gandhi on this. Eye for an eye makes the world blind.
No, you know what I'm going to say about Gandhi?
It was his granny's
sister.
And they were fully clothed.
No, I read stories where they weren't.
I don't know where you've been reading them.
Oh, I've read a very compelling piece written by an Indian author.
Does it count when you read it on Pornhub?
Gandhi porn?
Who's watching Gandhi porn?
You, obviously.
I'm not watching Gandhi porn.
That nappy gives me the horn of it.
It's the nappy and the flip-flops. Oh. Love a bit of toe jam.
That's what they're making it for then. It's all your money, isn't it? You invested in a porn studio that makes exclusively candy porn, but your OnlyFans subscriptions aren't really taken off.
No, sadly.
The only subscriber was Ben.
That's not for me. Obviously, it is impossible to imagine entirely the trauma and despair that motivated these Avengers after the horrors they had witnessed and endured under Germany's genocidal occupation. And they were united by a certainty that the world as a meaningful and coherent place had ended forever, which I suppose it would. You know, you go back to your town and that's ruins, all your stuff's gone, been stolen, you got nothing.
It's indescribable, isn't it?
I mean, like,
the horrors of it.
Everything's ruined.
You know, let's not play down how...
Probably most of the people you know and love
your
aren't alive.
Yeah, your neighbours, who if they are still alive, are the ones who ratted you out in the first place and threw stones at you as you were herded out.
Yeah.
So like you go back and live amongst them, are you?
Bullet holes in the walls,
Yeah.
all sorts.
Everything's bombed out.
Oh, there'd probably be
There's no food.
bits of body all over the place as well, because no one would... It's not like the Nazis were going in with a clean-up team afterwards, is it?
Well, no, that's it.
So they would have... It would have been fucking awful in so many ways.
Rank.
So Abba Kova was the leader of the Avengers, a partisan commander from Lithuania, who would also become weirdly one of Israel's most lauded poets. He was a great orator, basically. He got a bunch of people together who were thinking the same way, and people who got at the camps, other partisans.
I'm thinking of that film by
Yeah, with...
Tarantino.
what's his face in it? Daniel Craig. When they go in the forest.
Oh, well, you're thinking of Inglourious Bastards, and you're
Bastards.
thinking of... I know exactly which film you're on about.
I can't think what it's called.
No, can I?
Cracking film though.
It's alright, yeah.
And it was the Jewish people that managed to escape into the woods.
Yeah, and the
they
Soviets armed them and...
survived in the woods for quite a while, didn't they?
Yeah, a few years. Resistance, I think that film's called.
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, cracking film actually. I enjoyed it when I watched it.
Inglourious Bastards is sick.
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fun. I love Inglourious
Is it worth
Bastards.
watching, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's a
all
good
owe me
film.
30 Nazi scalps.
It's just one that's I've always wanted to watch, and it's just always gotten away from me. I'll have to make the effort and watch it if it.
I would,
really
yeah,
worth
it's good.
a
I think you'll
watch.
like it.
Oh, I do like a good Tarantino film, and World War II ticks all the boxes for me.
Although obviously Abba Kova, who went on to become obviously a massive poet, reflected decades later, I will not claim that our thinking was far from deranged in those days, maybe worse than deranged, a terrifying idea made wholly from despair and carrying a sort of suicide within it. I suppose you could, what am I living for here? Everyone I fucking knew's dead.
I mean, we talk about PTSD, Jesus.
Oh, exactly.
You know, they probably weren't in their right minds.
No, not at all.
They called it shell shock back then, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Deranged and terrifying though this idea was, the Avengers shared a total commitment to their goal of revenge. They were motivated not only by suicidal rage, grief and despair, but also by the fear that despite Germany's defeat, the Holocaust was not over, and the idea that they had to act boldly in order to prevent the last vestiges of European Judaism from being wiped out forever. It is easy to assume that the Allied victory meant the end of anti-Semitic violence in Europe, but even after the war, pour out an author writes that gangs of former Nazis together with criminal elements and wartime collaborators continued killing Jews and banded together as if their mandate had never ended. And in the chaos of war, while everything's been secured and taken over and local government and structure is re-established, I guess you've just got gangs of people roaming around doing shit, haven't you? Soldiers looking for food, they're armed, they've got, like, you can have a tank or two,
The
little
old
stray
Avengers
units,
here. Yeah.
and they see these guys doing a runner from the camp, gun them down on the road. Many Jews actually also returned to home to be just murdered by their old neighbours.
Well, I suppose because they did rat them out and that lot, and watched them go down the road and that lot, and shouted
Course.
abuse.
I mean, imagine that. You just survived a death camp, you go home and you're murdered by your neighbours.
Yeah, it happened in Lithuania. 5 survivors were killed by anonymous assailants.
Maybe Pete's right. They should have just gone back to their houses and killed their Nazi neighbours, shouldn't they? They should have, yeah. I know the war's ended, but we ain't living next door to you rats. And then stabby. Well, they all died the next day because they moved back in, and then
This is the problem. If they'd have
Shank will be shanked,
Shank
Claire.
will be, yeah, it's dog eat dog in
Well,
that
that's what I was
after
gonna say.
wartime, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're all going for the same food, the same water, the same fuel.
In those situations, it's mano fucking.
I'd never heard that though. The
That's
Jews
how-
returning home were murdered by their neighbours. How fucking horrific.
Yeah. Well, they've already fucking their persona non grata. Everyone thinks they're dead anyway. They went off to the east, which is that was referred to. I mean, obviously, your average German citizen, most of them don't know about the Holocaust, even though they might. The Band of Brothers scene. You ever seen that series?
Oh, fantastic!
Like, well, they find a concentration camp with a town just down the road from it, and they're like, oh, I don't know what that is. We never went there. I don't know what it is.
Well, they weren't allowed to go.
No,
there,
they weren't allowed to go there, but they said, well, couldn't you fucking smell it? The body's burning. Because that's the issue, innit?
Well, we wouldn't know if, over the back of Telford in some of the fields, we've got a lot of greenery around where we live, We wouldn't know, would we?
Mate, I've burnt bodies in my back garden. Nobody's ever said nothing. Joking.
Or is he?
Yes, I am.
The rumours swirled throughout Europe of a clandestine German special forces organisation known as the Werewolves, whose mission was to continue fighting for Nazism after the war. And there was a thing as werewolf groups that were set up. Hitler Youths, rogue bands of SS.
Fucking hell.
Well, people that truly believed the cause.
There were weapons caches all over for these guys.
Their beliefs aren't going to change, are they?
But in the end, barring 1 or 2 attacks, it never really came to anything. But it was planned. But
Well, the problem was Germany was occupied now by American and British and Russian forces.
and French, don't forget the French.
Sorry, and the French. Only because they were running away and ran the wrong way, probably. But yeah, so I can't remember the point I was coming to now.
Well,
You mentioned French and it threw me.
sorry.
I don't know where I was going.
Can't forget our French cousins.
If it was occupied, like Mike said, how did they kill their neighbours, or do you think it was just like...
Because it's still chaos at this point. I mean, the Soviets have moved in. They're probably occupying Lithuania. Well, they are occupying Lithuania at this point. But you still got to get... I mean, some Jewish bloke turns up, who everyone thinks is dead anyway. He might as well be. He's been to a concentration camp.
You look half dead, mate.
No one's going to miss him.
Well, he was first of all he's a Jew, so they've got that against him because they're quite willing to get rid of him anyway because they've probably had his house and all of his stuff.
Oh yeah, someone else has moved.
And his
into
shop.
it, like.
Yeah, if they took over the business, or someone's had his house and they're all sharing the business, they'll want him back. And this guy's persona non grata. He's got no ID on him.
My point was...
It's just another dead body, isn't it, at that point?
What are we going to do with him?
But yeah, the reason
Obviously there's massive anti-Semitism too.
The reason there wasn't many attacks afterwards from these little splinter groups, that was my point, was because the whole of Germany was full of Allied troops, so I suppose there would have been a lot of little sects that probably got demolished,
overrun, or just,
yeah.
But I mean, it is chaos. You've got several hundred. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. 700 million refugees in Europe at this point.
Yeah.
On the move, people are just tramping everywhere, and they're just coming through the Allied lines or the Soviet lines. I mean, they try and allow them through where possible, but also they're getting caught in crossfires and all sorts. It's chaos, and then when everything ends, you've just got these. Still gangs of Germans roaming around with guns. They haven't all been rounded up yet.
No. God, it would have been a fucking awful place.
It's chaotic. It's just absolute chaos. And the Avengers believed that only mass retaliatory violence would make Europe's violent anti-Semites think twice about spilling more Jewish blood. And while travelling across Europe in 1945 and 1946, often under forged documents or with the help of the Jewish Brigade of the British military, because there was a Jewish brigade of Jews who got out, they all formed together in the British Army. And the Avengers settled on 2 ways to accomplish their plans. Plan A. The indiscriminate murder of 6 million Germans involved infiltrating and poisoning the municipal water systems of major German cities. And Plan B. The mass execution of SS and Gestapo veterans took a similar shape with a plot to deliver poisoned bread to Allied POW camps. There's the two things they decided on.
See, the second one, yeah, alright, not so bad. I understand getting your revenge on them fuckers, but not killing everybody else. That was a bit.
I suppose at this point they didn't realise that there would be the Nuremberg trials, maybe.
Yeah, the Nuremberg trials are fairly soon, weren't they? They were like 40. Didn't they just crack them straight on in like 45, 46?
They started getting results in about 47.
I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt then, but if they knew it was going on and they were...
Well, you say, would they
Look,
have even known it was going on?
We're a democracy and we have rule of law. That's what we believe in. We don't believe in vigilante...
We do now. Beliefs were a lot different though. 70, 80 years ago, they were very different.
You've also got a bunch of very violent people, a bunch of people who've been fighting a war, a dirty war, guerrilla war for the last 4 years.
You think all the fucking...
They're hardened as fuck, aren't they?
You think all the 50-year-olds, they've all been World War One as well? Do you know what I mean? They've really been through the thick of it. So they're different people. They're a different breed of people at that point.
But at the end of the day, we believe in a trial, and if you're found guilty...
We do, yeah. We do.
And that's what they believed in them.
Yeah, I mean, the Nuremberg trials
so
democracies were pretty much established by the late 1800s, weren't they?
Yeah, but not nowhere near to the level they are now. That's
you still got rule of law.
Yeah. But you got to remember...
There's war crime trials held, and that was the punishment for these people, or so-called...
But how many people would even know that was going on?
But that's not saying that some low-level SS guard can't sneak out of the loop, pass himself off as a German soldier.
Yeah.
Even though SS guys can be told by they had their blood group tattooed under their left armpit.
And that's why they had Nazi hunters that went hunting for these and brought them back for trial.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still people got out. A lot of people got out. As many as 15,000 might have got out through the rat lines. Into through the Vatican into Spain.
Yeah, so how is poisoning 6 million German citizens gonna, you know?
In that case, it's eye for an eye, isn't it? That's what they're saying in that scenario.
Yeah.
It's eye for an eye. You killed 6 million of us, we're going to kill 6 million of you.
Yeah, I can't back terrorism of any sort, no matter what happened to them people. So for me, it's too far.
Yeah, that one's a bit too much, isn't it? Let's face it. I mean, I can see that from their perspective, and we can see, let's face it, mentally, they are not in a good place.
Naturally, man, of course.
So I can see it from their point of view. Could I have done it myself? Even in that scenario, probably not. I'd probably go, no, you know what? I ain't putting that stuff in. As it happens, they didn't have to. Or they couldn't. So how to procure the necessary poison? In August 1945, Abba Kovner set sail for the Jewish community of Palestine, then under British colonial administration, to find the support the Avengers would need. It's basically discussed that during Kovner's Palestine trip, he willfully misled the highest leaders of Palestine's Jewish community and insisting the Avengers planned only to target war criminals. Convinced by his dishonest assurances, they supported the Avengers' operations with the undertaking that the poison will be used to kill SS veterans and not German civilians. The scientist Ephraim Kitzer, who later became Israel's 4th president, and his brother Aaron, provided Kovner with a quantity of arsenic sufficient to kill over 10 million people.
They're not messing about.
No.
And he became president.
Yeah. Despite his claims, however, Kovner intended to use this poison to fulfill the mission of killing German men, women and children. And he reflected years later, quoting, "I lied with a clear conscience, not for a moment. Even until now have I any doubt that Plan A was correct and was a necessity."
Fuck.
And while he was lying to the men who would soon run the state of Israel, an Avenger named Willek Shinar, a Polish Jew who was his family's sole survivor, began working under a false identity at the water purification plant that served Nuremberg and formed a detailed plan to pump poison across the city. So they got as far as infiltrating the water plant.
Yeah.
On December 14th, 1945, Kovner set sail for France from Alexandria in Egypt, identifying himself as a discharged British soldier. He carried a bag that held 12 powdered milk cans filled with arsenic, which he would bring to Nuremberg. But as his ship neared Toulon, France, a detachment of British military police came aboard looking for him and 4 other men travelling from Palestine on false documents. In a panic, Kovner threw the bag of arsenic into the sea.
Oh, poor fish.
Yeah. So when Kovner's comrades in Europe learned of his arrest and the loss of the poison, they switched their energy to Plan B. Using arsenic they acquired from contacts in the former French resistance, Avengers poisoned thousands of loaves bound for the Langwasser POW camp, which was under the administration of the United States. Some 2,000 SS veterans became ill and hundreds were hospitalised, but none died. And 2.5 months later, all the Avengers were settling into Palestine, having failed to accomplish even a fraction of the spectacular, violent revenge they were desperate for. The theory they failed with the poisoned bread is that either A, it wasn't sufficient high grade enough arsenic, or B, they spread it too thin. You couldn't guarantee a minimum delivery of arsenic per loaf of bread. So they found the people that ate the end pieces were okay because it had burned off more.
Right.
Cool. I like a crust.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh no. Do you? Yeah. I was chucking my idea.
I don't like crusts. So yeah, they just kind of gave up after those. You know what? Let's just go back to Palestine. Israel's being founded.
That's it, man. Look, as horrific as it was, I just want to get away from the horrors of it, and you know what I mean? Because if you're out for revenge, you got to relive all that. You know what
I think
mean?
you don't know any other way to live, though,
like,
do you? You come out of that camp and you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah, thank
I've got
God I'm
nothing.
alive
I've got nothing.
a second chance.
Everybody's dead. I had to pull their bodies out of the gas chamber and put them in a furnace.
Yeah.
I want to rebel. I want to kill these bastards.
Yeah.
And that you let it consume
but
you.
it's not like they're not getting their comeuppance. They are.
Obviously not to their expectations, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, what did the 6 million?
They're still finding guards
Germans
today.
do.
I mean, even a few years ago, was a 96-year-old SS prison guard who got away with it for all them years, finally arrested. Like literally, like I think it was pre-COVID.
Yeah, it's bad that they got away with it.
And he still went to jail, but it's 96. It's like
It's a bit pointless, isn't it?
I don't even think he went to jail. I don't think he did. Because
I think they did
he
jail
wasn't
him.
well. I don't think he was well, and I don't think he went to jail. It was like, here's your sentence, but you're on your way out anyway.
Yeah.
There's no point.
It
fucking...
definitely put someone in their 80s in fucking jail.
I know there has been, but I think that one a couple of years back, I'm pretty sure I remember he was too ill and frail to serve any kind of sentence, so they just let him crack on in his bloody...
I think if you're in a care home, you're almost there
think that was-
anyway,
I think
aren't
that-
you? You know, you don't go out very much.
I think that was the situation. It was something like that. He wasn't well, and he was in a care home, so it was like, just let him crack on. I might be wrong.
No, I just think it's an interesting moral dilemma. You have to put yourself in their shoes. I couldn't countenance. I couldn't do the 6 million people. I can understand there are people that can, because they've just been broke down into sociopaths by war. Their killing is nothing. Death's nothing to them at that point.
No.
They've
already died.
Long, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them are already dead.
But then the leader of the group, he went on to be a famous poet, one of Israel's best ever poets. It's mental. It's like he managed to... He must have managed to rehabilitate himself over the following years.
Or
his
really
his poetry was...
War poet,
yeah, it
really
was
deep.
very deep, dark, but obviously very true in that, maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could have been about unicorns and rainbows. We don't know.
I have no idea.
Probably weren't no William Wordsworth though, was he? Sing it.
Tell us about your life, William Wordsworth, Pete. How many your new name?
Daffodils.
Glad you got daffodils.
Daffodils, that's about all I got.
No, plan B, I'd have gone for. I'd have done that.
I think I'd have been all over that myself, to be honest.
In
It's
the
less
state
worse
I'm
than,
in.
less worse than Plan A.
But
isn't
plan A would never have even been on my mind. It would have only been plan B for me. I'd have just been wanting to kill all the fucking soldiers that had done it to us. That's how my
Yeah.
mindset would have
it?
been.
So I mean, there were people still in Germany that were still against the Nazis.
yeah.
Some.
Not many.
But as the war went on, that got more and more.
Well, further they went into Germany, the less Nazis they met.
Have you ever watched Jojo Rabbit?
Yes.
Good film.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
But that kind of highlights the neighbours tattling on you and things like that, doesn't it? Because
Absolutely.
Scarlett Johansson's character was tattled on, wasn't she, by the late neighbours or whatever who were friends with her, and she was like a spy kind of thing, wasn't she? She was German. She wasn't Jewish, was she?
I have no idea. I can't
But she was
remember
like a German spy of some form. But that's what it was like. They all fucking ratted them out. They
Well,
didn't
everyone
care,
rated
like-
on the Jews. It's, you don't want to live next to you. It's the propaganda that's been sunk into your
Yeah.
mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and also they're quite wealthy, and that's you kind of fund the German economy.
Well, it's like, is it Borat? It is Borat, isn't it? Who has the running of the Jews and things like that.
Yes, there's some very anti-Semitic things in that
But
film.
the way they're portrayed
It's pure Nazi
is
propaganda.
pretty much
Yeah.
the way it was portrayed by the Nazi propaganda. That they were like made out like they were fucking money grabbing trolls hoarding gold and
Yeah, basically the in Harry Potter and
the goblins.
Yeah, that's basically how the Germans portrayed them as.
yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, there's some virulent anti-Semitism in that film.
Yeah.
Maybe not purposely.
No, I think it's probably subconsciously, but yeah,
I don't think she.
bit of
purposely did
stereotyping,
that.
isn't it?
I don't
Of
think
the worst kind, really.
Yeah.
But then again, the Jews have had it bad all through history, haven't they?
Nah, yeah, especially in Europe. Yeah.
What are you
Well,
on about?
even in Egypt.
Well, yeah, Egypt it
They
wasn't
got
great,
to
was
live
it?
it up in the sun. What are you on about?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's because
And
it
the
got
I am joking.
I know. There are some people that do believe that they were summer camps.
Yes, there are.
Some
There
very,
are
very misguided people.
Yeah, the Holocaust denial things. I mean,
Yeah.
conspiracy.
it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Anybody
A lot of them voted for
denies
Trump.
Anybody
Sort
that
of
denies it needs fucking slapping, don't they?
I've met one in real life.
Somebody that doesn't believe the Holocaust happened.
Yeah. Genuinely, I was like just listening to her, my mouth agape. Just I couldn't.
How
It took
can,
me a few seconds to realise what she was saying. It was mental.
how can you not believe in actual facts?
Oh, well, because there was a massive water tank at Auschwitz that the fire department there used, because obviously it's got some fire engines in case of, it's like a self-contained environment, isn't it? So they had this big water tank, and the German guards used to use it as a swimming pool in the summer. And then there's aerial photographs of this. They're like, look, there's a swimming pool. There's people swimming in it. There's a holiday camp. That's not a concentration camp. That's like it's a swimming pool, for fuck's sake. And you're like, he's that fucking dense.
They just pick and choose the facts that support
Yeah.
their argument. They're
Basically.
gone.
You still can't tell me, like, well, all right, then where did all these 6 million people go? Oh, they didn't. Their thing is, there wasn't that many Jews in Europe. Is that their answer to that? And he's like, yeah, there was. There was quite a few.
Pretty well documented. That if anything the Nazis did, they were good at documenting stuff.
Yeah.
I know they tried to burn a lot of it, but didn't burn all of it.
There's a shredder in the office. And I love using it because I was like, imagine I'm like the last days of Nazi Germany. I'm shredding documents.
Who are you in this?
I'm just some like.
He's mein Führer.
I don't know who I am. I'm just.
I'm off to
Argentina.
Argentina. I was going to say Austria.
I'm shredding my own ID
Argentina.
documents to get my new ones. I don't know.
I'm shredding
I
these
think you're more of
documents
a
now.
Bormann type.
Well, he got out. He ran. You know what we're gonna do? That.
Hermann Goering.
No, he killed himself.
No, he didn't. He moved to fucking Argentina.
No, he definitely
No.
killed himself.
Yeah, he did.
Himmler killed himself, and there's a few of them got away. The Israelis hunted down mercilessly over the years, or tried to, as much as possible.
It's a good film about it. The Boys from Brazil.
Isn't that when they try and clone Hitler?
Yes. Steve Guttenberg's in it.
Really?
Yeah.
The Odessa Files pretty decent. You get a chance to watch that.
I haven't seen that one.
The book's better than the film. Much
What's
better.
that about?
It's when the Germans got the SS out the country, got this war criminal out the country, or give him a new ID and propped him up as a wealthy man, wealthy industrialist, and he's trying to hunt him. This journalist trying to hunt him
it's
down.
sad that the ones that got away and didn't pay any price for it.
We've definitely got a Did Hitler Escape episode, multi-part coming up. I'll tell you that much.
Has anybody ever watched The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas?
No.
It's another really good, hard-hitting film. It's based on World War II German camp. That's a really good film. Any listener out there, Boy in Striped Pyjamas, you will cry.
You will cry.
You will cry. Big man, fucking little man, big woman. Doesn't matter who you are. It will fucking. You'll have a lump in your throat minimum.
I'm not doing it. I can't put myself through that emotional turmoil.
It's a really good film.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's poetic and majestic and artistic and
it highlights
thought-provoking and very emotional.
Yeah.
But nah, I can't do that.
But no, good.
We've all seen Schindler's List, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can never get over the fucking brutality of it. You just can't. The
He was only a semi-good guy, though, wasn't he?
Schindler, yeah, he was. I mean, he could have done more. I mean, the fact he did something, to be fair, is enough. But you know, Christ, he could have done a lot more. Yeah, you're right. But I suppose
a lot of people could have done a lot more.
A lot more people could have done a lot more. Yeah, you're right. And a lot of people couldn't have gone along with it. But
That's someone could have just slapped Hitler on the first day and gone, "Don't be fucking stupid. Get that silly tash off your face."
And then you just
fucking
been shot.
shave your hair.
Then the SS Leibstandarte guard behind you just shot you in the back.
No, I mean,
the second you punched Hitler.
No, I mean the day that Hitler became a cunt. I don't mean the day that he started.
He was
the war.
always a cunt.
But it's like he had cunts around him to follow the orders. He
That
did,
liked him for some reason.
Well, they idolised him. He was the
weedy little fucking.
I know, it's
weirdo.
mad, isn't it?
He thought he was Charlie Chaplin.
It is crazy, but for some reason he got these guys under their spell, and they were a bunch of energetic go-getters at the start.
Yeah, it's frightening, really, isn't it?
It was all too easy for him to get. It didn't take him that long to get into power.
That very first speech that made him fucking get these weirdos, like, oh, I like this guy. Somebody had just gone over to him, like, as he started that speech, gone, "Shut it! Fuck off!"
Yeah, alright. Take an example like Trump. Who's going to tell Trump to stop it, to fuck off?
I would.
Well, some people did it in the Republican Party and they were ostracised.
Yeah, I mean, when your president's talking about a Nazi versus an anti-fascist sort of protest, counter-protest, and there's literal torch-carrying Nazis, and your president turns around and says, there were good people on both sides, you're like...
They're literally saying Jews will not replace us as they're marching to the street.
Yeah. You will not replace us, as we were saying.
Nah,
you will not replace us.
They were saying Jews, let's face it.
I
I heard it, I've seen the video, mate.
you know,
Sounds like Jew to me.
on Trump, are we?
Yeah.
well, not Trump, but certainly organisations that have been allowed to...
I'm not saying that he was a Nazi or he
No,
was a
he
fascist,
wasn't
but
a fascist. He wasn't running concentration camps.
But he definitely fanned the flames, didn't he?
He tolerated it as long as they voted for
Yeah.
him. I think is the best way to put it.
Off topic, anyway.
Well, you're saying that it can creep in, and we're at a crossroads.
Yeah.
You know, in
A lot of
Italy,
countries going fascist. Hungary's gone fascist.
Italy has
Sweden,
literally
hasn't
elected the granddaughter of Benito Mussolini as fucking president. Tell me that's not a fascist. Tell me a liberal, is she? It's incredible. It's on the rise. It is on the rise because the shitter things are, the more people want someone else to blame.
Yep.
And it's at the minute it's the boat people or the immigrants. It's always the immigrants because there's less of them.
It's never the people that run the country.
It's never the people that run the country. It's the guys you live next door to. They're taking your shit, taking your jobs. The reason you can't get a job, yeah, because that Polish guy's got two.
They took your germs.
They took your germs, exactly. Fucking South Park. That episode was crazy. It's crazily accurate, that episode.
Amazing, isn't it?
So yeah, we got fucked up facts tonight.
Yeah.
Before we do fucked up facts, just like to say a quick R.I.P. to Lisa Marie Presley.
Yes.
Gone far too young, really. Bless
Star
her.
of the Naked Gun films. I think there's only OJ left out of that cast now.
See, this backs up my point. There's no God, is there? Let's face it, because it's
So
like
Leslie Nielsen will be immortal and
Well,
still making Naked Gun films.
Leslie Nielsen should still be alive, and that prick should be fucking not. Not that I wish death upon anybody.
Yeah, but he did really improve the NHL. Not the NFL. Sorry, let's not forget that.
He was a
fantastic
fantastic football
I mean,
player.
not that I like American football, but I've seen OJ stuff, and I'm aware that it's really. And he was consistently shit up for years.
And he was.
And he only stabbed his cheating wife. I'm joking. He still killed somebody,
but
the glove fits.
He wasn't. He didn't do it.
And then you write a book saying, "Yeah, this is how I would have done it if I'd have done it."
That's unbelievable, that was.
It is, isn't it? It's fantastic.
Genius.
Anyway, fucked up facts theme tune, please.
Facts, fucked up facts.
Facts. Love me some fucked up facts.
Right, has anyone ever heard of the Shaggy defence?
Is there Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
Wrong Shaggy, unfortunately.
Oh, it wasn't me.
Yes,
I was thinking of him.
it wasn't me. It's a Shaggy defence.
I love it.
Mr. Bombastic, really fantastic.
When a defendant insists it wasn't me despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Kids definitely in it.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. He's like, they got the crayon in the hand and it's their handwriting over the wall.
Yeah, written their name on the wall. It wasn't me.
Every time Olivia farts, wasn't me. Right, it bloody was.
White eggs tend to come from less aggressive chickens than those that produce brown eggs.
What bollocks.
Interesting.
Bullshit.
That's a fucked up fact. You can't call bullshit.
I call bullshit on that, I'm afraid.
How do they test that?
It's
Just
just.
to get more passive chickens, just like what about white eggs because they're a bit French.
Yeah. The ones that peck you when you're trying to get them out, the eggs out, they're brown.
Keratin, isn't it? It's keratin, isn't it? Egg shell.
Is it keratin?
Keratin or.
Nah, that's nails, isn't it?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Or whatever it was. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's full of shit. I'm more than likely wrong, but I in my
Back
head,
it up, sir.
In my head, I just say.
Don't challenge
no.
Mikey's challenging your fucked up fact supremacy.
It's
Yeah.
up to you now. The onus is on you to find alternative information.
Yep. And you, listener, if you don't agree.
You retain information better if it is accompanied by a pun.
Ha!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless the pun.
Who's the king of puns right now, or queen of puns?
Not me.
It's Mike, innit?
Still me, is it?
Yeah, I've pun for a while.
Pigs can be taught to control joysticks with their snouts to steer a cursor on screen that can win them treats.
I'm trying to teach my 3 dogs to ring a bell, then they get a treat. And it's working.
Is it true, Pete?
Did you see the smug look?
I can see this. I see that Arnold
Back
Rimmer
to the
smug look.
eggs.
I was going for that Jeremy Clarkson like awful grin that he does when he's being smug. Basically, the only reason eggs are different colour from chickens, it's the genetics. It's almost like black people, white people in a sense. So more often than not, chickens.
The darker the chicken, the darker the egg.
Chickens with lighter earlobes also have white feathers and produce white eggs. Those with coloured feathers and darker earlobes will likely produce coloured eggs.
Are the darker ones more aggressive?
Yeah, the thing was
It
it.
doesn't say
There
anything
might be a
about.
more aggressive breed.
Doesn't see anything about aggression.
What about chickens here? Because it's
But-
not being racist.
What I will say then is there might be a correlation to it, but it's not the cause.
Yeah.
So I back up my instant thoughts on that was like no, 'cause that's the real reason.
Right,
it's
well,
genetics, but
could be-
there might be
Could be the
behavioural
factors. Could be the factors.
Yeah, but behavioural traits
We're not
within
chicken
genetics
experts.
as well.
Well, no, they've got 50 chickens, white ones on one side, 50 bloody orange ones, and then every morning when they took the egg, if they got savaged or whatever, or
It
stopped
just shows that the darker ones, or the lighter ones, whichever one it was, are the more viciously breed. It's just, that's all that is, but it's nothing to do with the egg colour.
Well,
that's just genetics and the colour of the actual bird. Sorry.
No, the facts are to be disputed, but I'm shocked really, because it's quite a reliable source.
Maybe, we obviously don't go into that source is.
Like you say, it might also be the fact that they're more violent.
Yeah, but that breed, well, it's like you've got different breeds of parrots, yeah? African greys are known to be very fiery tempered. Macaws, known to be quite placid, very good talkers. Little things like that. So, yeah, genetics. But
who knows?
That's not to do with the colour.
Next fact.
During World War I, French soldiers were issued a daily ration of camembert and red wine.
Lovely.
Nice.
But not for long though.
But not for long, no.
For about 3 weeks until rations run out. We have run out of cheese, I'm afraid. Oh no, I will surrender straight away.
Didn't they give out booze to soldiers before the attacks as well? Am I wrong in remembering that?
Have a bit more courage, a bit more Dutch courage maybe.
A bit of Dutch courage, so have the rum ration or something like that. I know the Navy gave a rum ration until like 1940, 1950 something.
Still now?
No, they don't. They don't have the rum ration now, the daily rum ration.
You can get it. You have a daily alcohol allowance, and it depends on what you want, but you can get the Puss's rum on certain ships and deployments. You will get a daily ration of Puss's rum.
Alright, then it says it would officially get stopped. They're the barrels.
It would be every single person back in the day. It was part of the ritual of the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much now, but obviously everyone's still a pisshead, so. It's no wonder, really, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, literally everyone. Navy, Army, Air Force.
I know the Army.
All a bunch of pissheads.
Next fact.
Yep.
Only 20% of the world's deserts are covered in sand.
There's something just like scrub and soil then, or what?
Like that salty one as well.
Oh, that salty
Do
one.
they
yeah.
class?
Bondu.
Where's that at?
Do they class Antarctica as a desert? Because there's some places that hasn't seen water or snowfall for millennia. I think they class them as deserts.
So there's like rocky surface, isn't it?
And there's that as well, yeah.
Yeah, you got the rocky
I
surfaces.
love the word tundra.
Me too, tundra. It's not good, is it?
Sounds sexual.
It does, doesn't it?
Is that because of the Kama Sutra?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's
Sounds like a similar kind.
Tundra. A tundra.
Oh dear.
In Utrecht, every year for George Orwell's birthday, local artists put party hats on the city's CCTV cameras.
Nice.
They do what? Sorry, put party hats on the cameras.
Yeah.
Okay.
You seen a picture of that?
to remind people that they're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because George Orwell, 1984. Right, of course.
Big Brother.
Never seen that.
Haven't you?
I need to watch that
Oh,
film.
you need to watch that as well.
We did a movie review on that. You could listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Watch it and listen to the podcast.
Might just watch it, but...
No, you should listen to the podcast,
Okay.
Pete.
Yeah, but I wasn't on it, so why would I want to listen to
Because you
it?
still might find it funny and entertaining.
Not if I'm not on it.
What, do you only watch things that you're on?
Yeah.
So like, all you watch is like old home movies and Facebook videos.
And Pick Me, yeah. A game
He makes
show,
his own.
a game show I was on a few years back.
He makes his own versions of Hollywood blockbusters. He plays every character.
Yeah, you know that. You know that kid at Charles
Pete, you black up for certain films.
All of them. All of them.
You went a bit far in Schindler's List, though, didn't you?
I know.
When you recreated that.
Those poor innocent children. Dressed them up as Jewish people and everything. And there's a film. What is that film? Be Kind, Rewind.
I haven't seen it. I'm
Rings
aware
a
of that
bell.
film. Yeah.
Jack
Probably Jet Black, yes.
And they
seen
remake
it.
some movies.
Oh,
and that.
yeah.
I was thinking
Something.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but obviously they leave the weapon episodes.
I have seen it. Yeah, it's alright, it's decent. It's not brilliant though.
No, not amazing, but it's okay.
So Pete only watches stuff that he's in. Breaking news. Wait, is that why you watch the Bigfoot shows? Are you Bigfoot?
Shh!
Are you a human
Don't
form?
tell everyone!
Because we never see Pete outside of this.
Oh, yeah.
Secrets out. I've been trying to drip feed, soft disclosure. That's why I've been letting you know about the ethereal and the spiritual side of my species.
Well, you just fucking announced it pretty quick.
Damn it. Oh well, hard disclosure. Boom.
In 1966, the Procrastinators Club of America held a protest against the War of 1812.
Oh, I love that.
Only in America.
I love that. That's fantastic. Remember the War of 1812 when we burned down the White House? And that's why they had to paint it white to cover the scorch marks.
It was
Yeah.
grey before that, or what colour was it?
It's more stony, I think. Yeah.
So it wasn't called the White House then?
No, it
It
wasn't.
was
No.
just called the House.
I guess so. I don't know what it was called. We burnt it down anyway.
In 2010, a former clown ran for Congress in Brazil.
They're all clowns in Congress in Brazil.
His slogan was, "It can't get any worse, vote for me."
I like it.
He
I like
won
that.
in a landslide.
Do you know, I've been kind of thinking we should do something similar to that ourselves. Just get a normal fucking Joe and just make sure. Because I know a lot of people, not you. A lot of
Already
people
am. I'm already there. I'm up for election next year.
I'd have to be the Prime Minister, and one of you could be the,
I'm up for election next year.
Mike, can you
Why do you have to be
finances?
assistant to the Prime Minister?
What?
You want me to be assistant to you?
Well, we're going to be the party. Pete's just said it. We should do something.
And you just elected yourself Prime Minister,
Yeah.
leader of the party.
I'm the only one
I'm
actually in the
leader of the
system
party.
here. I should be Prime Minister.
I'm leader of the party.
You're not leader of the party.
Put you anywhere near power.
Hold on, let's have a vote on this.
You are, Claire, you're
Hold on.
secretary to the leader of the
No,
party,
no.
which is me.
We'll do this democratically. We'll do this like a true democracy. All those who vote Ben, raise your hand now. All those who vote Claire,
Nobody-
raise your hand now. Right.
Oh, come on!
3-1 to
It
Claire.
looks better with a female Prime Minister at the moment as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's true, we've had a bit of shit. Thatcher, May, Truss. That's not a run I want to continue.
Well, the men's ain't doing much better, are they?
No.
Yeah, but it's me.
Exactly,
No,
it's you.
Claire.
I mean,
Exactly, I'm just the face, you're the backbone.
Oh, don't say that to him. God.
yeah.
Don't we get to be head of the armed forces?
No.
Yeah. Mike, can you do the finances?
No,
Pete can be foreign affairs.
I'm Peter in Foreign Affairs. You'll turn up for 1947.
I can do all the accents. I'll be able to speak to them.
They speak English already. I'm your interpreter.
And when they're speaking in their French accent, they can speak back. I can speak back to them in an accent so they can understand me.
Don't do that.
You'll be like the fucking policeman for Lower Low. Good morning.
I can speak French, so I'll be alright with Macron. I'll be able to say bonjour to him.
Oh, well done. I could have said that.
Bonjour!
You haven't got to put Del Boy's accent on.
Why not? That just makes it. Isn't that the French accent?
Chateau Neuf de Paris.
Right, we've got to rethink this. Ministry of Health?
I suppose I have the medical background. Makes sense. Probably got more fucking background than the Minister of Health at the minute, or the past fucking 10 of them.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, so I'm Chancellor of the Exchequer. Oh,
Yes.
brilliant, thanks.
Get the red box, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
I've taxed the rich like they've never been taxed before.
Oh, Christ.
Anyway, any
You
more
can't come
facts?
our party.
Vote for us, guys.
Vote for me in May.
As a special treat, the ravens in the Tower of London are fed biscuits soaked in blood.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And it is blood of children as well.
Oh,
No, I've seen the ravens getting
I
fed.
assume it's pig's blood.
I'm guessing so.
Why pig's blood? Why not rabbit's blood?
It could be any blood. It
Or
is.
rat blood?
Well, it's as easy to get pigs as it is to get
Or
rats.
maybe the Queen, or now the King, maybe they like bleed themselves to feed the
Oh
ravens.
yeah.
Well,
I see that happening.
They do
A little
owe the
bit of-
ravens a blood debt. I mean, if the ravens fly away,
Maybe
the
this
monarchy
is it.
falls.
Maybe they have to do a bit of bloodletting.
Yeah.
Maybe
Some
that's
kind of
part of it.
weird.
Maybe
Some
that's
kind
what
of.
killed off the Queen.
They took a bit too much blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Nah, she's.
for the ravens.
She's the one taking the blood off the.
they made a hole.
innocent-
They made a hole in her arm, and like just a puff of dust just came out. Like, like, oh yeah, she's 96. Shit.
Well, she'd have the transfusions from the young children, wouldn't she? Keep it young. Young blood going into you. Shown. Studies have shown if you have younger blood put into you as an older person, rejuvenates you a little bit.
I've got our new business, Claire.
Selling blood.
do like transfusions
None of us
for
can.
us.
None
The
of
old
us can.
folk.
None of us can sell blood
Yeah,
for
but I
one
can-
very simple reason.
I can acquire it from other places. Don't worry.
Have a good pose as a blood bank.
Suppose as one.
Yeah.
A thing so bad we're down to get rich quick schemes.
Claire's gonna sit in a little desk like.
That's what we'll do. We'll pose as a blood bank, right? On the front, on reception.
And then we'll sell it on to old people.
We're stealing the blood from the poor now.
That's a Robin Hood of blood transfusion.
Is that our new party slogan?
So,
It wouldn't be Robin Hood anymore.
Apparently
It'd be
it's
Robin Blood.
apparently it's our new hustle. We're selling blood.
My name would be Robin Blood instead of Robin Hood.
Whose blood are we selling?
We're posing as a blood bank so people think they're donating it for
Right, and
the
then
hospital.
we sell it on.
To old folk. For £100 a pint.
But we don't. We've got to test all that blood. We've got random people walking in.
I should taste it.
We're going to test it.
Taste test. Taste test.
Test it.
Just fuck it.
Just
Give
sorry,
it in.
we're only after blood from children 6 and under, so we know it's pure.
So there's no AIDS or
There's
anything.
no AIDS threaded in
For
there.
hepatitis, yeah, we're alright.
Was bad as the elites.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, don't put us in power, guys. This is where it will end up.
Put me in power though. But
No!
No, that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, terrible idea. Who came up with that?
That would
Fucking
reduce to those side hustles.
Brexit Britain for you.
Guys, I've got this contact. It's actually going to be a lot of iguanas. Maybe we should go and run a pet shop.
hell. Let's do it. Iguana blood. They'll never know the difference.
We can still
We sell it to the old people. It'll rejuvenate you. And then they'll start walking really slowly and changing colour and shit. Like, oh, bollocks!
Or it rejuvenates them too much and they're fucking hunting us down.
Licking fucking flies out of the air.
Yeah.
The old reptilian people. That's quite scary.
Well,
On that bombshell.
on that bombshell, you can follow us on Facebook at Cutting Through the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse, SoundCloud and most other podcasting platforms as Cutting Through the Bull in the PTA, and YouTube at Apocalypse Bull. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, leave us a comment, send us a message, whatever you want. I've been Ben. Thanks for listening. Don't drink the flavour aid. Don't join a cult, especially Nazism. Don't join that cult.
No. I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Whatever you do, don't fucking sell blood to any of us.
Or give it us.
Or give it us, just don't.